Hello and welcome to my channel, Perfect Pastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I'm coming to you from Dorset in the south of England, where I live with my husband and my 3 dogs. And today I am all alone. Outside, I'm in a different location. It's outside is Storm Bert is raging. So in my studio space, I have a conservatory roof and it just makes so much noise. John's in the dining room, so I've come up to one of my spare bedrooms and I'm in the window. You still may hear the wind and the rain, but the light's the best here. It's very hard to find decent light and good sound, I think. So I'm supposed to be with my daughter this weekend, but the storm's put paid to that. She's really having it quite strong over on the Bristol Channel, but it's bad enough here, so I wouldn't want to drive through it. I start with my finishes, and I am wearing my alpaca sweater that I started a couple of weeks ago. It's the alpaca from my friend's little shop that she runs in a assisted farm, and I held it with a dark brown blue face Leicester from Yeoman Yarns. I speak about it in a previous podcast. The pattern is called the Simple V-neck, and it's on Ravelry, and that's literally what it is. It's a rolled neck seam. The bottom seam is rolled as well. I love the fabric it's made with these 2 colours. It's a little bit blown out there. It's a lot warmer, a caramelly colour and brown in real life. It's a bit too pale in this camera. The sleeves are also finished in just a rolled, you just cast off basically. Now I don't know if you're like me, I find with my sweaters, I like the idea of having sweaters that are all cosy around my hands, but the ones I do have that, I spend the entire time rolling back the cuff or pulling them up to 3/4 length sleeves. So these ones I judged to finish at about bracelet length, and I'm very happy because it was quite difficult to judge actually, because you have to sort of take into account that it rolls up nearly 1.5 inches, and I didn't know how the alpaca was going to actually block. That was my main reason for holding it with this other yarn, to stop it drooping and sagging. But it blocked beautifully. It feels wonderful. I have a t-shirt underneath, but that's mainly because it's cold at the moment. We had snow the past 2 days, and I can wear this next to my skin without a shirt. It's perfectly fine, and it's become my favourite sweater to wear. I don't think I've taken it off much at all the past week or so. It has pilled and made sausages, which are coming to a sort of finish now, but that's to be expected when you use wool. So it just shows it's good wool, doesn't it? Another finish I had this week was I finished Gem's slipover, my daughter's partner, and this is made in homespun. It's been folded, so there's a crease across the middle. I was supposed to be taking this up to him today. There isn't a pattern for it. I had 4 or 5 patterns, and I made it up myself really, because I started one and I didn't like the definition, and I used another one for the V-neck and one for the stitch count for cables and one for overall sizing. So it's a bit of a mishmash. There's my pilling on my sweater. But I'm really pleased with it. It feels gorgeous. I love the fabric of this. So we'll have to wait till next weekend to get this now. It's Midnight Sky, another thing I've talked about in previous podcasts. Got a lovely flex in it, and yeah, I'm over the moon with that. I'm hoping he will be too. I'll just have to wait another week now. I managed to finish the bamboo socks. There they are on a blocker. Well, there's one of them on a blocker. I do have the other one here, but it doesn't look the same. I did match the colours very well. I did manage to match them. So they do look the same, but it doesn't look the same off a blocker. I did a 2x2 rib around the cuff. And I just followed my normal vanilla recipe, but to change it up, I did a 4x2 down the leg, heel flap and gusset in a contrast colour, and then just the ribbing on the top of the foot and a contrast toe. So I've been waiting to show you these so that I can wear them. It's the first time I've used bamboo, so I was really pleased. They feel lovely. I just hope they hold up to wear. So they can now go in my sock drawer, and I'm pleased with that. Other finishes. We did finish the poppy display. I will insert a picture, and it was very well received by the villagers. They've already got plans for next year, so some of the ladies are carrying on making poppies now. I hate to think how many we'll end up with, but there's going to be like poppy bunting and all sorts next year. But it's a lovely thing to see in the middle of the village, because the church is quite tucked away at one end of the village, and it's our village hall is where the kids meet for the school bus and everything as well, so that's lovely. Another thing I have just finished was a knit-along. Well, it wasn't a knit-along in the sense of timed. It was a knit-along in the sense that it was a kit from Black Sheep Wools, and we could all knit it together. And it is the Debbie Abrahams Season's Greetings Festive Stocking, and it's made in alpaca soft. And it's Debbie Abrahams is known for her beading on yarn. There's a full picture of one there. And I love doing this so much, I cracked on with it. And I put the pom-poms on this morning. It's beautiful yarn. And you can see the beads. Two ways of putting on the beads. Pom-pom tassel. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's soft white clover. I'll have to have a look. Put my eyes on, I can actually read it. Simply White, Clover and Deep Rose are the colours. Yeah, it is quite a pinky red, but they're lovely. So I was really pleased with that. And I haven't blocked it yet. It probably could do with the blocking as it's Colorwork. It is made flat. There's a seam all the way down the back here. And I once did a slip over in Colorwork in flat pieces. And I vowed never to do flat Colorwork again. So I grit my teeth and I went through it, and I absolutely love it. But to counter that one, because that one's now finished and can go away for Christmas, I have been doing the Anna and Carlos daily knit along. I am up to date bar last night's, because it comes in about 5:30, 5 o'clock to us in the UK. So I haven't done last night's. I will do that, and that's the green top bit. This really, really does need blocking. This is done in West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab. And the colours are, put the eyes on again. No names, I don't think. That's 18. 18 is the off-white. I don't have the label for the green. Sorry. And that, oh, 18, that's 18 crimson red. Interesting, that's not the colour then. 11. 556 crimson red. 11 is the cream, and I will find out what the green is. That looks very bright in the camera. It's not that bright. I don't do vibrant bright reds. I bought these to do the Yarn and Carlos stocking last year, and I didn't get around to it, but I did print the pattern off. So it was sitting there and sitting there and sitting there, and I thought, oh, I'd like to do it for this year. And then they announced they were doing this year's a month early because everybody's so busy in December. So they were doing this through November, which I think was a brilliant idea. And I've just got the top bit there. The afterthought here will be where the yellow waist thread is, which I think is sometime over this weekend. It is still a free pattern until I think the 25th. So is that Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday. So if you're interested in the pattern, go to the Anna and Carlos website, download it, because it will be paid for afterwards. And this will definitely need a good soak and block. But I am enjoying that one because that one's in the round, whereas the other one was flat. I think that's all my nitty finishes. And because I've got a few finishes done, which I'm over the moon with because my basket became empty. Well, apart from some blankets. And blankets don't count as whips, do they? No. I decided to cast on, I know I was going to do the Compton, but the Miala cat caught my eye instead. I mentioned this one a couple of weeks ago. There we go. By Renee Callahan, and I'm doing mine in Drops Nepal, which is in a bag over here. And I can't find the contrast board, excuse me. In Drops Nepal, this is 8906. And it's a motley green, and this is 7120, which is a very soft, it's coming out quite blue in that. It's a very soft grey green actually. Very hard in this light. The storm has changed the light so strange. I've waited this long to do this podcast just to have some light. It's been grey and miserable all morning. But those are the two colours I'm doing with the contrast. And I have swatched, and of course it doesn't come anywhere near it doesn't come anywhere near the tension that is required for this. So again, I worked out how many stitches per inch I get, how many inches I want, which equals how many stitches I will get. And then I found in the pattern, once it's divided for the sleeves, yeah, again, I need to go up 2 sizes for the stitch count. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, just question below and I'll perhaps go through it. Oh, got a needle in there. That's not nice. Anyway, so I cast that on, and I'm going to cast on the little top I wanted to do for Christmas in truffle glitz, which I got on the retreat. Sorry, very crease pattern there. It's a King Cole 6052. I'm going to do the short sleeve one. There's also a cardigan on the back, but I'm doing a short sleeve one, and I'm doing it in the silver. And because this is done on quite large needles, I think that will be a quick knit anyway. And I think that will then be all my Christmas knits done, all my Christmas want to knits done with that, because I've done the stockings, I did that, and I did a lot of the other bits I wanted to do as Christmas in July. So I'm done and I'm happy. I have, what's coming next is, apart from those, I've also signed up to do Imagine Landscapes Nana's knit along through December. So I have found some yarns for that. It's a surprise knit along. It's called Nana's Visit by Imagined Landscapes. And I pulled 3 yarns from my last year's advents that I haven't used yet. Should be 4 actually, not 3. There we go, there's the 4th one. A nice, again, a nice motley green, a limey green, a red and a cream. So those are within the requirements for the Nana's Visit. Now, one of the reasons I'm happy that I have finished my Christmas knitting is, sorry, I'll just put this away. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm happy I finished my Christmas knitting is I have bought 3 advents this year. One is the Lay Family Yarns Sunday Advents, so there's 4 Sundays of Advent, and there's something to knit each week for that. Another is the Onling Advent, and again that's 4 Sundays, and they have patterns too. Whether I'll do those or not, I do not know, but I'd like to do the Lay Family Yarn one, I think. I may change my mind, I'm allowed to. And the other one I got was the Blue Fern Yarns Apothecary Advent, and I have a couple of pattern choices that I'd like to do for that as I go along. I think I'm heading for the Daily Calico Quilt Shawl, which is on Ravelry, and that should only use 10 grams of the 20 gram ball each day. And then I will have something to do. There's a Pino di Monet Infinity Scarf, which I also think takes 10 grams. But I'll have to work on that one. So I could get 2 items out of my advent from Blue Fern Yarns this year, which I think would be nice. So I'll have that going daily through December. I'll have the Onling and the Lay Family Yarns going through the week of December from Sundays. So that's quite a bit as well. I got Nana's Visit from Imagined Landscapes. I also have my oh, this is a lovely folio, cross stitch folio from Canny Little Fox on Instagram. She makes these amazing folios for projects, and I've got the pockets and clippings all over the place in this one. This is the Cotton and Twine Advent. I've just started doing the outer border. I've done all the little squares. Well, they're not squares actually, they're rectangles, which threw me at first. I can hardly see that, it's so blown out. Can I come back here? No. Does that show? I'll have to see what you can see in editing. Anyway, I've done the squares. I've just started the border. There's a quick glance at the pattern because it is a chart. 24 days, 24 boxes with a little thing in each day. So I may crack on with that. I may do one daily, I don't know. So I've now got the Blue Fern Yarn Advent, the Onling Weekly Advent, Lay Family Yarns Advent, Weekly Advent, Nana's Visit Gnome Knit Along, and the Daily Stitch. So I think my December is pretty much booked up. And I'm okay with that. I'm quite happy with that. We are having our family Christmas Day on the 21st this year. As my daughter and the kids come down for that, then they can go and do their other thing, and that leaves us free for Christmas Day as well. It's a while since we've had a family group here, so it'll be nice anyway. Now, speaking of Stitch and my daughter, who is a very, very, very busy business lady, she's very focused and driven. What she does is amazing. I'm blown away by her, whatever she does. I can't tell you on here. She does like to stitch. She used to knit a bit as well, but she just doesn't have time now. And she pleaded with me the other day, I've got some stitches I've done a while ago. Can you do something with them for me, Mum? So I got through the post a little parcel, and one was a little bit of red work that she'd done some time ago. So I mounted the red work on a board and put the edging on, and a bow at the bottom, and it's got some Scandi ticking on the back, and she can hang that up at Christmas. So I think she'll be pleased with that one. It's one of those little panels that you pick up on calico. And the other thing she did was, I mean, she's a very capable young lady, and this is so beautiful. She said, I don't care what you do with it, Mum, it just doesn't need to be sitting on a drawer. I said, okay. And it arrived, and it really is so beautiful, and she must have done it before children. Now the children are 8 and 10, so this has been sitting around for some time. This is not something she could have done with the children and her busy life. And I felt this deserved properly framing. And it's some gorgeous pulled work. In embroidery. I hope you can see all that. It didn't deserve to be sat in a drawer doing nothing. I'm trying to keep the glare off the glass. So I ordered a frame, and it's double mounted. You can see there's the 2 mounts there because that gives the distance between the stitchwork and the glass then. When that arrived, I could see how much I needed to lace the piece on a piece of backing board. So I'd measured carefully to make sure that the frame fitted the piece, and the mounts gave the right kind of distance, top, bottom and side. And the embroidery literally is about the size of this frame. So I sewed some cotton sheeting all the way around. And then on the backing board, I auditioned some pinks, some lavenders and some greens. Because of the pulled work, you can see through to the back. And the best combination I could find was the most vivid, awful lime green. And it's covered in a very sheer organza, a gold green organza. You can hardly see either, but when you see it in real life, the gold green organza calms the lime green down, and the lime green is strong enough to push through on the hearts and the little gaps between the stitching. It's very hard for you to see there, but believe me, it makes all the difference. And that lime green, which I thought I'd never use for anything, was absolutely perfect. So that's now all framed and sealed. The double mount, the inner mount, is a mushroom colour which goes with some of the threads. So I hope she's pleased with that. I know I am. I'll be over the moon if that was done for me. So that was my other finishes, but they're not my finishes, they're finishes for my daughter. And I think that's about enough of me waffling now. I think I am going to go downstairs and make a fresh coffee. I made a lovely, lovely roasted butternut squash and garlic soup yesterday, so we've got that for lunch soon. I hope you can't hear the weather outside too much. I know the phone microphones can pick up all sorts of noises sometimes, like the dog squeaking outside the door at the moment. Hopefully service will be resumed next time I see you, and I will have some progress on my December knit along, stitch along, make alongs as we go. I hope you're all warm and safe and in a good place with this weather if you're in the UK or anywhere really. We have no snow now, but it has been quite chilly. We've been into the minus figures. Snow doesn't seem to last very long down here anyway. But I'll wait till next weekend before I travel over to the Bristol way and spend some time with my daughter and the family. So until then, have a lovely week, stay safe, stay warm, and keep creating. Bye.